Everyone talks about how cozy, affordable, and stylish tiny apartments can be, including myself. But what if I told you there's a dark side that very few people talk about? These charming little spaces come with hidden challenges that can turn your dream of simple living into a daily frustration. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you off. As an architect, I'll share not only the biggest problems with tiny apartments, but also realistic solutions to make small space living work for you. Before you commit to buy or rent a tiny studio apartment, here's what you need to know. Ready? Let's go. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Lorenzo, an Italian architect based in London, specializing in transforming small spaces and elevating everyday living through good architecture. On this channel, I share practical design tips, space-saving solutions, and real talk of what it's like to be living in a small space. So if you love smart design and want to make the most out of your home, no matter the size, you are in the right place. Now, let's uncover the hidden challenges of tiny living that you need to know before you make the leap. But I have to warn you, the last challenge I'll reveal in this video might completely change your perspective. Okay, let's dive in. You might think that tiny living forces you to be organized. And it's quite true to a certain extent. But no one is telling you that if you misplace just a few items, let's say a couple of socks around, like you usually do, that makes the whole space quite chaotic. A good example would be a kitchen counter with, for example, a coffee mug, a jar, and a cutting board that looks sort of lived in a bigger home. But in a tiny studio, that might feel already overwhelming. I suggest you to identify a designated spot for each of the items, so nothing stays out longer than necessary. Think vertical, wall-mounted shelves, hanging racks, and furniture with built-in storage. This will keep your clutter at bay. And if you love sentimental items, for example, you're collecting something that has a meaning for you, you could adopt the rotating display technique, which basically means you could store half of the items, for example, and then rotate them periodically, maybe according to the season. That's really up to you. Tiny apartments are perfect for solo living, but what if you live with someone else? Privacy is almost non-existent. For example, your home office is your table, your living room is your bed, and if you have a guest over, they're gonna sit next to where you sleep. My professional advice is to create zones. Rugs, furniture placement, and foldable panels all help to visually separate areas. If noise is an issue, you can use bookshelves as dividers, fabric panels, or sound-absorbing curtains. They all help. But remember, if you need alone time away from the very tiny space you live in, you can schedule solo outings to avoid feeling trapped in your tiny space. A walk in the park, going to a local cafe with your favorite book, I don't know, that's really up to you. I'm just suggesting you, sometimes the best thing is to escape from the tiny space. Small spaces mean smells and humidity build up fast. Cooking once can make your apartment smell like a restaurant for days. And without proper airflow, things can feel stuffy or even moldy. Air circulation is key. If your apartment is within an old building and there's no cross breeze, try to install an air ventilation system for air to come in and out. You can also invest in a high-quality air purifier. Don't forget to keep your windows open if you can, obviously if it's not too cold, and consider furniture with breathable fabrics to prevent musty smells from lingering. Even with decluttering, there are some things that you can't really get rid of. Where do you put your seasonal clothes, extra bedding, or cleaning supplies? A typical example I've seen is where to store your vacuum cleaner. The closets are all already full, so it sits awkwardly in a corner of your home. Have you seen that before? As every inch counts, underbed storage, vacuum-sealed bags, and hooks on the back of the doors can help maximize your space. If you can't really get rid of bulky items, you can try using storage rental services for the items you don't need all year round. Next is an issue that for some of you might be the real deal breaker. Okay, so let's imagine that you made your tiny apartment perfect for you, but then what happens when you want to sell it and move on? Unfortunately, tiny apartments don't always have the best resale value, and bespoke furniture designed for one space might not work perfectly for the next one. For example, let's imagine that you built a new shelving unit that fits perfectly in your tiny apartment, but then the next one you want to buy doesn't have the proper layout to host it. What do you do then? My professional advice would be to stick to modular and adaptive furniture. So instead of permanent built-ins, which by the way I really love, you could opt for freestanding units that you could bring with you. Unless you stay put in your home for years, avoid having highly customized items. And when you buy new furniture, think about future-proofing. Will it fit in your future layouts? Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoy the professional advice on how to deal with these tiny apartments, which we all love, but they come with some downsides. Hold on, does this mean that tiny living isn't worth it? Not at all. But knowing these challenges in advance means you can plan around them and hopefully avoid regrets. Now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest struggle in a small space? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're looking for expert help on redesigning your projects, I offer a professional design package to suit your needs and help you make the most out of your tiny space. Check my contact details in the description of the video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future uploads. I share new videos every Sunday at 5 p.m. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!